Hey guys, welcome to the channel, welcome back to the channel, whichever is you today, and big love to Daniel for requesting this on Patreon. Thanks so much, Daniel, for your constant support. John means the world. So this should be fun. It should be fun. Right, I need to give some context for this now, because of course, Ultimate Warning ranking and all that business, folks. If you're curious when I'm filming this, because I do film things well in advance, there's still things from like 2024 that I still haven't put onto YouTube yet, and everything that are intended to go onto YouTube. I am filming this on the 24th of March, 2026. The last episode that I filmed was Disciple. So Disciple, even though it was a bit out of order because it should have been Narcissista, so I'm going to be, the next thing for me to do is Narcissista and then go back to this album, which is the Mayday album. But yeah, Disciple is the first one, and then it is the last one I did. Then it's going to be Narcissista, so it's going to be going back in time a little bit, and then we're going back to the Mayday album, so then I think it'll be Choke after that. So that is when this is being filmed. So this is, as Daniel said, this is a small 6-part documentary they did regarding the making of the EP Mayday. So right, yeah, I'm gonna check this out all in one go, folks. Hopefully YouTube will be kind. I will be kind. I won't block it, and I won't need to chop it up. But hopefully I can just do episodes 1 to 6. So here we go.
Pelo bien. Primero.
We are ready.
El nombre o los
So when was this?
la banda,
I know
no,
Mayday, but
okay. Go. Hi,
4
we're
years
the
ago.
Warning. I'm Daniela.
2020.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Hi, I'm Daniela. I'm Paulina. I'm Alejandra. And we are the Warning.
This third album, I can honestly say with a lot of confidence, is that it's the best thing that we've ever done.
The new album, how to describe it? It's the Warning on steroids.
They can all play their instruments like no one I've ever seen. If you listen to this album, you know this is a rock band. It's not a female rock band or a young rock band. This is a rock band.
And then they brought the demos. I was like, you guys are kidding me. It's like, do you ever write a bad song? It's at another level. The Warning at another level.
Working on the album with David and Rick was a little bit nerve-wracking at first because we know what we want to hear.
I was really nervous that David was gonna be like, no, I hate all of this and let's do something different. Like, we were prepared to fight over our songs.
We literally told them, like, we are super picky. Picky.
You see how far you pushed day one, and you started to talk about a song I didn't like. I said, I don't like this song. And I had 3 girls right up in my face together, and they talk in Spanish.
It's somewhere between like the buddy system and gang mentality, in my opinion. They travel in a pack.
like a gang of lionesses circling the prey.
I think that if we were not sisters, like, this would have fallen apart so quickly.
Having 3 girls being amazing, talented musicians at such a young age, and then having those 3 girls be sisters and so connected, that doesn't happen.
I can't believe they're my daughters. Like,
Wow.
what moment that happened? How?
Being in a band
They
with
look
your
like their mother a
family
lot
is
tonight.
great. We experience everything as a family that it'd be weird, like, to experience it alone and then come to my family like, oh my god, this happened. No, it's like a thing. It happened to all of us. It always happens to all of us.
I'm used to being in a room for 3 months with a band. This instance, I've never experienced before. I've never had the parents in the studio. And then their manager came. Now I've got the guardians. I definitely didn't get to be me because I usually swear like a trooper and say all sorts of inappropriate things in the studio because nobody's filming me usually. Yeah, I've never experienced anything like that, and I probably never will again the rest of my career.
I'll wait for that. In the back.
You know, they're going to get where they want to go. They strike me as workaholics, and they're on a mission. I mean, this is their dream, this is their destiny, and they're going to do it.
Their best work yet. And that's not just because they're our daughters.
It's an amazing feeling. A big accomplishment for them.
I mean, they've been through David Bendeth boot camp.
Yep. Survive. Is it wrong? Yes!
I have never been so on time.
This does sound more like a synth.
Going once, going twice. Die for me.
Wow. What a performance. Beautiful, beautiful. What a voice.
Gambare.
What a
That's what I say every week.
voice you have.
You know?
I hold a certain standard to the records I make. Of course, they've almost earned a rite of passage in the sense that they've played on their record everything.
That's all them, you know. They did it, they played it, they killed it.
When we started working with David, we just took it to like a whole new level. And we're so happy with the result. And I'm just super, super excited for it to be public and for people to listen to it and hear what people have got to say. Because I am so proud of what we did. So proud. Hello, I am Paulina Villarreal. I am 18 years old. I am the drummer for the band The Warning. My name is
18.
Alejandra Villarreal. I'm from Monterrey, Mexico, and I'm the bass player for the band The Warning.
I'm Daniela Villarreal. I am the guitar player and lead singer of The Warning. So The Warning came to be in a very early stage of our lives. We started playing classical piano at a very young age. I think I was 6 and Pau was around 4.
It was a family environment of music.
We started playing the piano when we were very young. We started with like classical music, and then we bought this video game, Rock Band, the Rock Band.
The Rock Band.
Rock Band.
Huh? Sorry about that, folks. Had a bit of a tech issue. Back to it. And Rock Band.
When we bought the game, that was the moment when we were like, hey, we want to do that.
We absolutely loved that video game. We played it all the time. I would just be like jumping around with my guitar. Pat would never let me play the drums because that was her thing and she was super good at it, and I was just like, no.
I gotta say this quickly, right? This is hilarious because I remember Rock Band. Rock Band, I think, came out in 2007. I played a lot of Guitar Hero and stuff like that. And I love the idea of Rock Band, especially with the drums, because I think out of all the instruments with Rock Band, the instruments they brought, the instrument controllers they brought out with the game and everything, the drums, I mean, were drums, basically. You know, as far as the action you're doing and everything like that is pretty much exact, right? So, with that, like, I always thought, God, it would be amazing if people actually learn instruments through this game. And not only that, people learn instruments through this game, but also maybe actually get to success. So the fact that these ladies, Rock Band, kicked it off in some ways is amazing. Absolutely amazing.
When we bought the game, I noticed Paulina, and she was like, like with so much coordination, and I told her like, look at Paulina.
But you need to take into account that I was like 6 years old at that time.
Like next week, Paulina was in lessons.
The thing with Dany was she wanted the guitar because of the Rock Band.
6 years old.
But we knew that it was going to be difficult for her because she was 8 years old.
I asked my dad if I could play the guitar and he was like, are you sure? And I was like, yes. And he said 6 months. And by the week I wanted to give up.
But she kept her promise, and by that time, she already started to love.
I was about 3 when we got the Rock Band, so I didn't actually play. She was a baby. And
If she played at 3,
Rock Band,
I swear.
and I was clapping next to us. I picked the bass when I was about like 6 or 7, and I was like, ooh, I want to play that. Don't know what it is, but I want to play it. And when she started playing the
6 or
bass,
7.
we started like thinking like, hey, these instruments, like we can play them together. We were like, oh, these 3 instruments actually make up a band. So we're like, we can start playing together.
We said like, why we should play something together. And that was it.
That's amazing.
We had no idea that we were gonna do what we're doing today, like at all.
For us, the decision to upload videos on YouTube was just like, we're gonna send it to our grandparents. The file is too big, let's upload it on YouTube and send them the link.
But suddenly they started getting a lot of attention.
All of a sudden, it exploded.
Our parents really reminded us that like this was for the music and we could use that to start writing our own music. I think that was something that caused such a huge change in us, from just like, let's play for fun, to like, whoa, we're a band now.
Not everything comes without its sacrifices. It was tons of practice.
Suddenly, you're not just a normal little teenager who goes to school, does her homework. You're playing shows, you're playing in festivals, and you're playing in front of a lot of people. Something that maybe like a lot of people my age take for granted, like going to parties, going to school, even like people who like, oh my god, I need to wake up at like 6 a.m. and go to school every day, was something that like we couldn't do.
And I appreciate the support of my parents and all that they had to go through to get us to this point, because for them, it was just as hard.
As a parent, you never know which one is the right path. We wanted to support them, like any parent, just try to give them what makes them happy.
We usually compare it, what we're doing and what is happening, and what could have happened. But as we started playing more shows and as more people started to show up, especially like at an international level, it was like, that's where it really settled in. Like, whoa, like this is for real. We are so grateful that we have the opportunity to be playing these shows, working this way, writing music. Like all these opportunities don't happen to a lot of people.
Thanks to all of that and all the sacrifice that we put through as a team, and not only us, but our parents and our management, everyone is just so incredible. And I'm very grateful, not only that we did it, but that we were able to overcome it.
Ooh, okay.
If we weren't in a band,
if we weren't in music in general, because we always get out of that question like, oh, it would be a song right now. Like, what would you do out of music?
Honestly, I think I would be a teacher.
A teacher.
A teacher.
No, you would be such a good boss.
Music teacher.
Yeah. I would
Probably.
like to write. Yeah, I'd be a good
you
writer.
Would be a writer.
I would have to do something creative.
How?
I couldn't. Yeah, no, like a job office. I honestly have no idea.
I think you would be a good model.
Ah, sure.
Yeah.
Not really good at posing, but you know,
you'd be a good model.
I could work on that.
You
got the height, you got the face.
Describe each other. Okay, let's do Pal first.
Creative.
Outspoken.
She's a spark.
I can believe it.
Also be a bit loud.
It's the life of the party.
How
A great drummer, great singer.
She really drives what's happening.
She goes completely on passion.
Pal is such a fan of music.
Drummer, singer, writer, composer.
Alpha, right in your face.
But she's so lovable.
I'm gonna take everything as a compliment. You. How would I describe myself though?
LA is so humble and so talented. She's technically incredible.
She can hang with the best of them.
Very bold.
She's observant and very persistent.
You are scary at times, but that is very useful.
Yo, Allie with the eye roll.
That's very useful.
She's the most reserved, but to be honest, she may be the most animated.
You, Dany, you're very organized.
Older sister, protector, the same as she
Believe that.
asks of
100%.
herself, which is a lot. She asks of.
She's always smiling, man.
Discipline, persistent.
She's a sweetheart.
She's honestly super nice. Like, I don't know how she does it.
She's the heart.
Very, very passionate.
See that.
She's a boss.
Dany is a powerhouse front woman.
I mean, she's up there with the top voices of female rockers.
The beacon of light in the dark.
Oh my God,
In the middle, she blushed and everything.
So nice.
And I'm scary. Jumping from covers to like writing our own music I think it came very naturally.
Pau has been writing songs since she was like, I don't know, maybe even 5. We would be like, I don't know, making lemonade. She was like, making lemonade.
We started writing as like a little
5.
experiment, and our first EP was basically those little experiments.
Our main
5.
focus for writing is rock and roll, but that doesn't mean that we don't listen or learn from any other genres.
I listen to a lot of K-pop, and I also listen to a lot of Japanese rock, since it's
sorry, double whammy with me. As if anybody subscribed to my channel, you will see a lot of K-pop reactions and stuff that I do, because if anybody's curious, K-Ross Reacts is influenced massively from K-pop, right? K-Ross, K-pop. Probably work that out. Probably say, oh, in other news, the sky is blue. But the thing is with me, God, that's so interesting about K-pop being a genre they check out. So for anybody who's not familiar with K-pop, as far as like, well, I know you know what it is, but maybe you don't in a way, and I'll explain why. So the reason my channel came about, this YouTube channel, is that and I'm sure there will be people watching this who nod their head with what I'm about to say. I thought with K-pop that it was pretty much all bubblegum pop, you know, novelty stuff. Like you look at Psy and Gangnam Style. I thought it was all kind of stuff like that. So I kind of just, I mean, I didn't really come across it naturally, but I kind of just avoided it. And my mate, Luke in Australia, he sent me a few K-pop songs because he was getting into it. This was back in 2021, I think. And the stuff I was checking out, I was like, oh, this is kind of what I thought it might be. And then I saw this like suggestion on YouTube, because I was on YouTube watching all this stuff, and it was Scream by Dreamcatcher, and the thumbnail was this woman in a black dress with a sword, but it was kind of in the K-pop section because it's been recommended by this, and I was like, is that K-pop? Well, I'll give that a go. So I clicked on it, and remember what I just said about expectations of what K-pop is, because I'm sure I've talked to people, loads of people think what I did think K-pop was. And I watched that music video and I listened to that song Scream by Dreamcatcher, highly recommend by the way. And I was just like, wait, this is K-pop? And then I checked out another song from Dreamcatcher called Pity. I am doing recommendations while telling the story here. But called Pity. And I was like, this is K-pop. And then I checked out more and more from Dreamcatcher, and for a while it was just Dreamcatcher. And then I thought, oh, I'll check out other stuff, and I thought, well, I've seen people do these reactions and stuff like that, I'll do that too. So I got into other stuff from K-pop, and honestly guys, K-pop is basically music in Korea. It goes into so many different genres and everything. Like, it goes into so many different genres. So the ladies saying they're influenced by K-pop, it kind of makes sense also because K-pop, I find personally, and I'm sure others do too, with the Western pop that I hear nowadays, K-pop just goes harder. Now, I'm not saying that there's a lot of, there is some, but I'm not saying there's a lot of rock and metal, you know, stuff going on in all of K-pop. Certainly not in specific places there is. But whatever the instrument, whether it be, you know, an actual instrument or EDM, the drops in the music, the drops in the choruses are stronger. The bass lines are a bit more intricate than you'd find in Western pop, and the beats a lot of the time are more intricate than what you'd find in Western pop, and also it's a lot more experimental than Western pop, I would say. They take more risks and they pay off, I would say. So I think I saw actually earlier on in episode 1, someone had a t-shirt and I think it said Stan Luna, and I was just thinking at the time, I was like, no, it can't be what I think it is. Luna is a K-pop group. Makes complete sense now. But that's awesome. They also said Japanese rock. If you do not know, the reason I came across the band, Barnin, I was going to say then, the reason I came across the Warning is because they collaborated with a certain Japanese rock band called Band-Maid. And I'm going to take a guess that a few of you watching this might know who that band is. And yeah. That's something else, Poe.
So different. I listen to a lot of classical music. I listen to a lot of alternative music. I listen to a lot of K-pop.
I love rock and roll for its energy, and I wouldn't change that.
See what I mean?
For our band.
Scream by Dreamcatcher, folks.
From all the different types of music that there's all around the world.
Let me know what you think in the comments.
The chorus is really good, and I think that one of the best things about this is that you put really quick melodies that go up and down very quickly, and in like Korean language, like that works so well because they have like so many like syllables. Oh my god, está súper padre, qué emoción.
Who's that? Who's she talking about? That was something Korean, so... How Pow? Talking to a Korean artist? I don't know. Yeah, let me know if you know what's going on there, folks. Let me know in the comments. But yeah, Scream by Dreamcatcher, check that out. And remember what I said about my expectations of K-pop being blown out of the water when I checked that out. Also, their music videos, K-pop music videos. If you just want to see the visual side of it, it's unbelievable. Tell you a song that's a B-side from Dreamcatcher that if you don't like Scream, you will probably like that. Don't Light My Fire by Dreamcatcher. Highly recommend.
Syllable?
Creatively, it's all them. The way they work is they start writing and composing, and then they get together, then they rehearse, and they don't show us anything.
As for what we speak about in our songs, well, most of the times they come from Pau's brain, and we're just like, that's genius, and we kind of tweak it out and make the song appropriate to that feeling that we're talking about.
So I usually just sit on the piano and I just play something until something comes out. And then I show Dany and Ale the song. I try to pitch it as best as I can, so they're like, oh my god, that's a great song, let's work on it.
Pau's the one who has like that muscle, that creativity to just like create little words out of nowhere.
We start working on it. We start adding the drums, the guitars, the bass, and we're all very involved in that process. And it's really fun because I know I play the bass, but I don't do my bass parts alone. Like, Paul helps me and Dany helps me, and it's the same for the drums, the vocals, and the guitars.
Since we are very, very opinionated, we like to be in each and every part of the process. So we're doing bass lines, we're all there. Each second is important.
We're all very involved in every part of the process, which I think makes every song unique, and it sounds like us. Honestly, we get along so well, but the only moments where we have like fights is when we're writing, because we have such different opinions about what a song should be. It's up to votes. 2 people, you win.
We work really, really well because we have this honesty to our communication.
We do have like that clear line between like bandmates and sisters. You need to look at it as like what's best for the band, and not like, oh my god, like you're turning your back on me, like I'm your sister. No, like we're working.
Seeing them in the studio interact as bandmates and as sisters was really cool. It's just such a deeper level of connection. They know exactly what they need to do to support each other in all situations. When someone's cutting a vocal, when someone's cutting a guitar, like if it's going well or if there's hesitation, there's just like that sister connection. Was so cool to see that level of support.
They're sisters. I don't know how else to put it. It's like obvious that they're sisters, that they have each other's back, they finish each other's sentences, or they say the same thing at the same time.
When you're in a band, it's like you can break up. If this band were to disband, like they're still gonna be sisters, and no matter how heated or how big of a deal any of this is to any of us, I don't think it's more important than their family to them.
I'm so glad that we started writing our own music, because there's like nothing that I love more. That's what we like doing the most, inspiring people with our own music.
And I have found out that my comfort zone is writing from the heart. It's literally, if I'm feeling a very strong emotion, the song comes out.
Technology played a huge part in our band. We became known because of a YouTube video.
Social media is such a big part for us as a band, and without social media, we wouldn't have reached all those people who listen to our music right now.
I honestly don't know how they do what they do, but I know that the numbers don't lie.
When it comes to going viral at the age that they did, they've had a head start building this social media and online presence that people would pay millions to obtain.
That's an amazing thing to see. I mean, to have this type of fan dedication and loyalty this early is, it's really impressive. And it speaks to the fact that their music really touches people.
When you start out in music, the first thing that you think about is not really like, how am I going to manage my social media? It's the last thing that you're thinking of.
When I first met them, they had already gone viral because they were uploading videos of them doing covers and practicing music so that their grandparents could see it.
When the attention came in, it was like pretty shocking.
What we did as a team was land it with a proper strategy and vision. We all talk about what we're doing in social media every day.
It is like a lot to do, but honestly, honestly, like, it helps us a lot.
Thank you, patrons. Shout out to all of you. You are awesome.
You know, this community and friendships have been, forged all over the world.
We're always thinking of new ways to create new content for them.
And even if it just was like one person, it means something to them. That's an incredible feeling.
I think that they just feel like more responsibility to their audience, their fans. They're constantly evolving and working more for them.
It can kind of be intimidating as our fan base grows. It's very hard not to think about what other people might think.
To think, like, I kind of need to be perfect. I mean, being a, like, woman in rock is a whole thing.
We have gone through a lot of different experiences, mostly on stage, where we would get these looks like, what are these little girls gonna do?
Like, our treatment was sometimes very, very different. Like, the staff would treat you different, the bands would treat you different. I remember going at festivals when I was like 11. People would look at us like, oh, what are they gonna do here? Suddenly we started playing and everyone was just like shocked by what we did. And I was like, yeah, people really don't.
It's obviously a shame that there's that first impression there. It is a shame, I haven't had it with The Warning, personally myself, but then again, I came across them with the Bandmade collaboration. But honestly, I still don't think I would anyway. The irony is, though, that initial viral aspect that happened with them, there would have been a lot of people that have seen that video and gone, wow, there's these really young girls in a band, okay, and then they might have seen how many views this got, and they're like, oh, there must be a reason people are watching this. Holy shoot, they are insane for their age. And then you get that novelty of them being insanely talented for people so young. Take the woman thing out of it. People so young, humans so young. And then you forget about that aspect of it. You forget that novelty aspect of it because they're just an awesome band. Like, take away the fact that, everything like that. They're just an awesome band. Regardless of age, regardless of gender, And it is ironic, though, that, like, that initial viral aspect, like, let's say if this was, if they were in their 20s or 30s, like, when they started doing this music, in this hypothetical, would they have gone viral like they did? Maybe. Would they have got as viral as they did? Probably not, because of that initial novelty, So it's like that aspect of them instantly, as soon as they start playing, proving people wrong, is an amazing thing. It is an amazing thing. And it's a shame that that initial first impression is there, but the fact that they break it in seconds is awesome. I will say this, and it's not as far as like watching women in rock. I've had an example of it where I've mentioned them already. Bandmade, right? I've said this before on Bandmade videos. When I first did that reaction to Bandmade, the first ever one I did, I was just visually, I was like, "Whoa, what's this?" I saw these people in maid outfits, and I was like, "Oh, what's gonna happen with this?" and everything like that. And just as Alejandra said for The Warning, with Bandmade, the first few notes, I was just like, holy crap, who are these people? And now the outfits are not only charming to me, but I don't really take them into account at all. Do you know what I mean? But that initial thing with Bandmade is also like that surprise that the audience gets. It's a shame that it happened with The Warning. It makes more sense with Bandmade because of the costumes and everything, because they're quite outlandish on a first glance. It's a shame with The Warning that it happened. But like that surprise element, that sticks with people. Do you know what I mean? And then you forget about it because they're so talented and the music's so great. And I would say that unfortunately did apply for The Warning, for what Alejandra is saying, not with myself, and it does apply with Bandmade, and it did apply with me with Bandmade now. Did apply with me with Bandmade then, I should say. But anyway, that's a shame that they got that response. But God, they broke it in seconds by the sounds of it.
Just like shocked by what we did, and I was like, yeah, people really don't expect a lot out of you because they're not used to seeing women on these stages.
It is very nerve-wracking to go out in front of everyone and be that vulnerable. You see, like, this is me, this is what I do. Do you like it?
You know, it's not easy for them.
She's lovely,
being
man.
young, being female in a rock genre, and I think they're gonna bring change to that.
The most important thing in what we do is to just stay true to ourselves.
I'm really proud that this is a group of girls. I think there's so much talented female musicians out there, but historically they've been underrepresented in rock and roll. I don't really know what the reason is, but if I can be a part of helping to bring that energy to the forefront, then that's what I want to do.
You know, in such a male-dominated field.
I mean, just to quickly say, on what he said there, certainly I check out hundreds of artists, groups and bands on this channel. I mean, if you're talking bands, the Warning and Band Made are easy top 5. And I'm talking, if you're talking about just bands, there's probably a few hundred bands that I check out on the channel on the regular. Like, they are, without a doubt, both of them, Bandmade and The Warning, 2 female bands in the top 5, without a doubt.
That energy to the forefront, then that's what I want to do.
You know, in such a male-dominated field, to see not only 3 women, but 3 sisters playing rock music, it was awesome. Also, being a father of 2 daughters, it was inspiring to see that too, and something I wanted them to see.
We step up our game just to prove we belong here.
Rock and roll and music
It's a
in
shame
general
they have
is for
to
everyone
feel like they belong
to
there, you know?
enjoy.
It doesn't matter.
There's not just,
playing
they don't
music.
just belong
If you
there
like
naturally.
It, and if it's
Such
good,
a shame.
If you think it's good, that's what matters.
They are the
I think
future
they'll
of rock and
change
roll.
that.
Playing rock and roll, like, there's no energy equal to that.
To see like all these people that are from all around the world, some of them are older, some of them are younger, how they all just connect like through the power of music.
And it's so fun to see people having fun with you. It's just like a big party.
When young girls reach out to us, it's the most satisfying feeling ever.
You can feel it.
True,
when people tell you what your music means to them. It's such an indescribable feeling.
Like when someone comes up to you in the meet and greet and they're like, I started playing the drums because of you.
Wow.
Oh my God, like you feel like crying. It shows that anyone can do what we're doing.
It's easy for people to blow up on the internet and kind of not act like it's a thing, but these girls, they dedicate time every day to try and make sure that someone in their fan group or their whole fan group has an experience.
There are so many people
that's amazing.
that follow us and listen to our music. If I am just able to keep doing what I'm doing right now and keep touching like people's hearts this way, I'm happy.
I really love what I do, and I'm very grateful that all of you have given me the chance to prove it and to be it and to share it with you.
These are awesome videos because like it's the first kind of personality stuff. Well, not first, but I've never seen the personality stuff to this extent for them and everything. And I, especially with the early reactions to The Warning, I got emotional a lot. You know, I think there was a cry encounter for people in the comments in the first few Warning reactions I did. And I think everything that they talked about in that episode then, the importance of the fact that, you know, they're so inspirational, especially to women. There's something about The Warning, and when you watch them perform, especially, I would say, yeah, their music, their studio versions without a doubt, but when you see them in a live setting, when you see them loving performing, I've always said that when you see musicians loving what they do, it takes performances to another level, in my opinion, when you can see that they genuinely love what they do or they're genuinely into it. Every performance from The Warning I've seen, they are absolutely 1000% locked in, and you can tell they're loving life and enjoying themselves as well. And it gets me emotional, you know, because I see creative people doing what they love, and I always get emotional at that. And you put into the factor again that, you know, that they're women doing this, and they're so inspirational. I think they're inspirational, and I'm a 35-year-old man. Like, do you know what I mean? I think their story is insanely inspirational for me as someone who's, for anybody that doesn't know, I'm an actor, and seeing different paths of how people have got success. I always love hearing about different paths because I find it insanely inspirational, and just rooting for them, you know. So to see that they're lovely, 3 lovely people to you know, and so humble. And I know this is back in 2021. From what I've seen, without a doubt, they are still, I'd imagine, like this. You guys will know better than me, but I'm sure they're still as humble as I'm seeing them here, you know?
Never really worked with people outside of like our trusted group.
My first actual personal interaction was when I met them. They were playing 2 sold-out nights at Mercury Lounge, and I came the first night and checked it out and was so blown away. I came back the second night with Jason Blum.
Devin O'Connor, our senior A&R person at Lava, she invited me to go to a show at the Mercury Lounge, and I think it was a cold winter's night, and I've been to the Mercury Lounge too many times in my life, but I went and my head exploded.
Going from being an independent band to a signed band is a very big change.
Because we have been independent since we started and we had been doing really well.
For years, we've always kind of seen where the band is going independently. We started seeing this growth, and we would ask ourselves, it's like, how far can we take it ourselves? And then when is it time to start searching for partners?
Gonna hit a ceiling.
We just didn't want to sign with someone who would take control over our music. When Lava approached, it was just like an amazing opportunity for us.
The Warning had great touring numbers, great Spotify numbers, great social media interaction. Their fans are diehard. But first and foremost, the most important part is the music. And the music will
What 1,000%?
Lava, we like to sign great artists. It's really a simple criteria.
We are an awesome fan base.
We were approached by Lava, we dove in and definitely found very clear pattern. It was the same sound and look before Jason got him than after.
When they actually reached out to us, we couldn't believe it. And me being an amazing, like a big Paramore fan, I was just like, wow, Jason Blum just got, oh wow.
But when we started talking with Lava, we clicked. We were on the same page. I knew that this was the step that we had to take, that we would be able to be on another level now.
It took a long time.
We were negotiating for 7 months.
But we finally did it.
Signing
7 months
was like a game changer for us.
Complete
negotiation.
When we signed, it was so it was just such a big relief.
And now
7 months.
The whole Lava team behind us, I feel super powerful.
Honestly,
wow.
I am so grateful.
We're this super strong team.
Being the first rock band in Latin American history to sign with a US major record label definitely has to be my proudest moment.
That's
and
incredible.
Every grain of sand that I contributed to that is something that I'll cherish forever. That's one for the books.
Ever since we signed, we've gotten like so many opportunities. Like we got to record our 3rd album during a pandemic.
With the power of a record label, we can make songs for different artists. We can get our songs in movies or anything. Like the possibilities are endless. Our earliest goals for the band, like we're gonna learn this song and we're gonna rock it. We're gonna be on time. I mean, those are still goals. But as we grew, like up until now, our goals have changed drastically.
I would just really love to play all over the world and like have my music reach out to like as many people as possible.
And we would love to, you know, go on a world tour, get our music everywhere, and
that's
just
awesome.
Kind of like share that love for music that we
that's
have.
awesome, and they did.
Wherever we can.
I can envision a stadium full of fans rocking out to The Warning. If we were able to help make that happen, it would be, you know,
that's
just
great.
It would just be magical.
Future hope for the band is world domination.
Yeah, we want to tour the world. We want to melt faces, rock out on stage. We want to break stereotypes and show the world that dreams do come true.
My goal for them is that they become the biggest band in the world. You know, it sounds crazy, but it's actually possible. It's going to take a ton of hard work, and it's also going to take some lucky breaks. At the end of the day, I think that is within the realm of possibility. There's no reason that they can't do that.
Yeah, I agree.
Our favorite place we traveled as a band, I think we have each one different in mind. Okay, let's just say it at the same time and see if it matches up.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Argentina!
Ah! Wow! We got
Argentina.
It was awesome. It was such a great tour.
It was our first time having like such a long tour. 2 weeks. It was
two
like 2
weeks.
weeks. It was a 2-week tour with
it was our first time there.
And it was amazing.
It was
Honestly, I am dying to go back to Argentina. The energy the Argentina like public has, wow.
I was just about to say, like, from what I've seen a few like clips of acts and everything like that, whether it be groups, artists, or bands. I've seen them in like, let's say London. I mean, I've actually seen in person and everything too, and they're great crowds, right? You know, and then I've seen on YouTube like American crowds. And it's like, oh, they're great crowds, right? You know, French crowds, oh, they're great crowds, right? And then you see Latin American crowds, and it's like, it's just, from what I've seen, another level of energy, you know. So the fact that they said that does not surprise me in the slightest.
Awesome, miss you guys. COVID.
Once we signed with Lava, we didn't want to lose any time.
The band was about to go on a tour, and then COVID hit, so everything that they were working on got canceled. And so they shifted the target immediately to, okay, we're going to make the record now.
And David Bendith was a name that
Smart.
crossed between options that they brought to the table and options that we had seen. Really quickly, it became, okay, let's get him on a Zoom.
We had a Zoom call with him. Like there was just like a connection. We shared the same vision. We were very excited, very nervous as well, because we knew it was going to be like tough.
Teenagers are different than any other band. You know, they're very pliable.
We were really nervous. Looking back on that call, David was also nervous. Like, we see it, and I was like, "Why were you nervous?" Like we were shaking. You are David Bendith.
Making an album in the middle of a global pandemic was a very unique experience.
We started lockdown on March. We had not left our house until September. We were really respectful of like the safety of it all.
Obviously, it was COVID, and the first thoughts across my mind were, how is this going to work? But what we did was we were in the bubble.
We decided after a lot of conversations about it that we were going to record it in New Jersey.
We did COVID testing, we traveled with seat covers and masks and face shields and gloves, antibacterial and sprays and wipes. Nobody on our team got COVID.
God.
We were all very careful and very professional.
That was a time, wasn't it, folks?
I think, you know, that just makes this album that much more special.
We were just in a little bubble all the time.
I think it kept us really in the zone.
It was definitely scary starting at first, because of course the questions come up of maybe if we wait another month, things will be safer. But it ultimately came down to the fact that the music was ready and it feels urgent, it feels relevant. We want to put this music out.
Working with David and Rick was a very new experience for us. Actually never worked like this much with people who only talk in English.
Their English is amazing. My Spanish is absolutely awful. The one time that I brought up a mispronunciation, I can't remember if it was Dany or Pau, one of them said something and I jumped on it. And you just hear Allie from the back, your Spanish sucks. You gotta watch out. You don't know who's waiting in the wings to get you.
This third album, I am so proud of what we did with it.
It came out very generational, very social. More than anything, I think we want to call out people to think.
It's about Gen Z, it's about technology, it's about communication. The new album is the world from New Warning's perspective.
Since we evolved as people, we changed, our views of the world changed, we grew up. I think our writing and our music changed and grew as well.
In this instance, you could tell that each one of them had spent time honing their craft and practicing. I saw a crack in the door where I could push them and I could open a world to them where they could be less rigid. Even though it's tough and they don't like it, they're built to withstand it. And so you could push them. And so I did.
It was great to see how our different opinions meshed and became this great album.
We really stepped out of our little box of songwriting.
And I'm not gonna lie to you, there was moments when it was extremely tense.
It was sometimes like, David, that's not how it is right now. And David was like, well, this is how it should be. And we're like, ah! We had a lot of conversations about how to meet a healthy middle.
I guess the best way to say it's how you come back from that determines how much you've grown.
Working with them was incredible, and we all got to learn so much from the process. I feel super confident about the next steps I'm taking as a musician because I got to learn from the pros.
All the work with David Bendith, it was a blessing. It was amazing.
I already missed them. We were with them for so long.
You get really close. Especially
hope that this
during
record
COVID,
goes platinum, and we
in
all
that
have
bubble,
plaques on our
as they
walls.
said.
As far as for the band, I wish them all the success in the world.
We know that we have
back.
much to learn every single day. There's always something more.
My dreams and goals for them is for them to grow as players, to keep writing songs. But my biggest goal for them would be to stay in touch with who they are and never lose that.
Our love for what we do is so real and it's so big. Like, why have we worked so hard for so long to just stop here?
Daniel, día exitoso.
Yay! Un día exitoso!
That was amazing. That was absolutely amazing. I loved that. I loved that. Such a great presentation on everything, the footage, everything like that, the talking heads. Such a great way to not only, you know, talk about this album and everything and what they were intended for this album, the process of actually making it, especially under COVID. God damn, man. Under COVID restrictions and everything like that must have been insane. Introducing the producers too and the engineers is a great thing. But I think what's especially cool with this is, you know, those first few episodes in this mini documentary showing who they are and everything, you know, as people. And, you know, I'm already obviously a big fan of this band. I saw them live, you know, in London, as I'm sure a lot of people know. The ultimate, the one in the ranking, of course, where I'm going through the discography still, as I mentioned earlier. But like seeing them as people here, it makes me, as I said a little bit earlier, it makes me even more happy at the success that they're getting, and it's fully deserved. It's fully deserved, not only because they seem really lovely people, and you could tell they work their asses off, but also it's just the quality of the product. It's the quality of the music, you know, and everything like that. It's the quality of the output that they put out there. Incredible, absolutely incredible. And yeah, I'm so happy for them, man. I'm so happy for them, and this was a really cool look into what makes them them. And, you know, the comments about them being, you know, the biggest band in the world. I will say this. I noticed, I was playing a game the other day, and in the game, on the soundtrack, it shows you the tracks that are on the soundtrack, right? And I saw the one in there. I was just scrolling down, and I was like, oh, that's the one in. And I was so proud. It was an element of being proud and everything. And that was a big game that they were in, right? It was a big game that they were in, you know, mainstream game and everything like that. And I was thinking, oh, awesome. And that's recent. It's very recent. So I really hope they get more success. I honestly don't see where they can't, you know. I honestly don't see where they can't continue to get success. The biggest compliment, they mentioned it a little bit. The biggest compliment the Warning kind of, I would think quite often, and I don't want to speak for them, I don't know them, but I can imagine it, especially with them as being pure rock fans as they are rock and roll fans. I see you guys in the comments on the Warning reactions, and, you know, I see the comments on the actual music videos for the Warning, but more than anything else, I was there in person, live, and I saw the queue, you know, in London, and I saw the people around, and they mentioned that, you know, they love young women coming up to them and that aspect to it. But the biggest compliment I think they should take, especially being in the genre that they're in, is I saw so many, you know, middle-aged and older people at the Warning shows, and you got to think that the music that those people have lived through decades and decades ago and everything, you know, not to, you know, throw age out there and everything like that, but like, it's rock fans, you know. I mean, anybody can be a rock fan, don't get me wrong. There could be an 8-year-old or a 9-year-old or anything, or a 7-year-old or younger watching these ladies and being a fan. Age isn't the be-all and end-all as far as being a rock fan goes. But there's a lot of rock purists that, again, that lived through those decades, and those people of that age are a massive fan of these ladies. That is a gigantic stamp of approval. A gigantic stamp of approval, and they deserve it. They absolutely deserve it. It is a blast doing the Ultimate Warning ranking, folks. You know, some lovely people in the comments, as I said. I think they got an amazing fandom. They got a very passionate and loving fandom, but also the fandom is what a fandom should be, supporting them. and they with their support, with the fandom support, and with their drive and their talent and their amazing music, I really hope that they get bigger and bigger. And you know, I honestly think someday, and I don't hope it, I just think it, I think they will do stadium shows. Without a doubt, they've done festivals. I think they'll get to a point with stadium shows. I generally do. So there you go. Amazing story. I love their story, and I love that they're still kicking ass to this day. So anyway, there you go, folks. Hope you enjoyed this video. I loved doing this. This was something a little bit different. As I said, when I am recording this, if you're curious about where it is in the Ultimate The One in the ranking, this is after Disciple. The next thing I need to record is Narcisista, because unfortunately I missed it, you know, because it wasn't on the website that I used for the discography. And then I'll be going back to, I think, Choke. So I'll be going back to this album. So big love again to Daniel for making this happen, because it's a great companion to the whole ranking series, but also the album that I'm checking out at the moment. So anyway, there you go, guys. Thank you for watching. And if you want to check out the Ultimate One in ranking, where I go from the beginning of their discography to their most recent songs, I rank the songs as I go from most favorite to least favorite. You can head over to the One in Reactions playlist to see all my One in Reactions pre-ranking too, and I'll be somewhere on the screen right now. Hope you guys have a lovely rest of your day, morning, afternoon, night. Whenever you're watching this, please take care. Much love.